Hello and welcome, my dear friends. I am so happy that you are here with me today. Thank you for giving me your valuable time. Today we are going to take a deep journey into the most powerful and most mysterious organ of the human body, the brain. Before we begin, I want you to think for a moment about how many times in your life you felt like your brain was running the show and you were just a passenger. Maybe you wanted to focus on your studies, but your brain kept distracting you. Maybe you wanted to stay calm in an argument, but your brain filled you with emotions. Maybe you wanted to change your habits, but your brain kept pulling you back to old ways. If this has ever happened to you, then this video is for you. The human brain is like a supercomputer. It is more powerful than the most advanced machine we have ever created. And yet, most of us never learn how to use it properly. We go through life with misunderstandings, thinking that the brain works one way, when in reality, psychology has shown us some very surprising truths. That is why, in this video, I will share with you 10 powerful psychology truths of the human brain. If you understand these truths and start applying them in your life, you will unlock more focus, more confidence, and more control over your decisions. So, stay with me until the end, because the last truth is the one that will completely change the way you see yourself and your future. Truth 1. The brain loves patterns. The first truth about the human brain is that it loves patterns. The brain is constantly searching for order in the chaos of the world. It is always trying to connect the dots, to make sense of random events, and to put things into categories. This is not just a preference. It is how the brain has evolved for survival. By recognizing patterns, the brain can predict what might happen next and prepare the body for action. This is why habits feel so natural, and why routines give us comfort. Once the brain identifies a pattern, it saves energy by following it automatically. This is also why change feels difficult, because the brain must break an old pattern and create a new one. Truth 2. The brain is an energy saver. The second truth is that the brain is designed to save energy. Even though it is only a small percentage of our body's weight, it consumes a huge amount of energy. Because of this, the brain is always looking for shortcuts. It prefers to do things in the simplest and easiest way possible. That is why we sometimes procrastinate, why we choose comfort over challenge, and why we avoid situations that require too much effort. The brain pushes us toward the familiar and the easy because it wants to conserve energy for survival. Once we understand this truth, we can stop blaming ourselves for being lazy and instead build systems that guide the brain toward the right actions. Truth 3. The brain responds to stories. The third truth of the human brain is that it responds deeply to stories. For thousands of years, human beings have used stories to pass down knowledge, wisdom, and values. The brain does not hold on to plain facts very well, but it remembers information when it is placed inside a story. A story has emotion, flow, and meaning, and that is what the brain connects with. This is why movies, books, and even conversations stay in our memory for years. When we think back on our life, we do not remember a list of events. We remember our experiences in the form of stories. This truth shows us that if we want to influence ourselves or others, we should think in stories, not just in dry facts. Truth 4. The brain resists change. The fourth truth is that the human brain resists change. The brain's most important job is to keep us safe, and it sees anything new or unknown as a potential threat. That is why stepping out of our comfort zone feels uncomfortable and even frightening. The brain is wired to hold on to familiar situations, even if they are not good for us, because they at least feel predictable. This is why people stay in old habits, old jobs, or even old relationships, even when they are unhappy. But once we understand that resistance is natural, we can push through it slowly and train the brain to accept new behaviors. Over time, what was once scary becomes normal, and the brain builds a new comfort zone around it. Truth 5. The brain cannot multitask. The fifth truth is that the brain cannot actually multitask, even though we often believe it can. What feels like multitasking is actually the brain rapidly switching attention from one task to another. But every time the brain switches, it loses focus and efficiency. This is why we often make mistakes when trying to handle many things at once. The brain is designed to give full attention to one thing at a time. When it is fully focused, it works with great power, but when it is divided, it becomes weak. This truth teaches us the importance of deep work, choosing one task, giving it complete attention, and finishing it with clarity before moving on to the next. Truth 6. The brain is reward-oriented. The sixth truth about the human brain is that it is reward-oriented. It loves rewards, both big and small. Deep inside, the brain is constantly seeking pleasure, satisfaction, and small bursts of happiness. Whenever we complete something and feel good, our brain releases chemicals that make us want to repeat that action again. This is the reason why social media feels addictive, why achievements feel satisfying, and why habits stick when they are paired with rewards. The brain is always chasing that feeling of satisfaction, which means if we attach rewards to good behaviors, we can train ourselves to repeat them more often. Truth 7. The brain learns through repetition. The seventh truth is that the brain learns through repetition. Every time we repeat something, the brain strengthens the pathways related to that action. The more we repeat, the stronger those pathways become, until they eventually feel natural and automatic. This is how habits are formed, how skills are built, and how memories are stored. The brain cannot always learn something instantly, but with repetition, it makes the information a permanent part of us. That is why consistent practice is the most powerful tool for mastering anything in life. Truth 8. The brain feels before it thinks. The eighth truth is that the brain feels before it thinks. Many people believe that humans are logical first and emotional second, but psychology shows us that emotions actually come before logic. When something happens, the emotional part of the brain reacts instantly, while the logical part takes time to analyze. This is why we often act on feelings before we have fully thought through a situation. Emotions are fast, automatic, and powerful, while logic is slower and requires energy. Understanding this truth helps us realize the importance of emotional intelligence, the ability to notice, manage, and guide our emotions instead of being controlled by them. Truth 9. The brain needs rest. The ninth truth is that the brain needs rest to work at its best. Many people believe that working non-stop makes them more productive, but in reality, the brain begins to lose focus and creativity when it is tired. Rest is not wasted time. It is essential time. During sleep and breaks, the brain organizes memories, repairs itself, and makes new connections. Without enough rest, the brain becomes weaker and slower, no matter how hard we try to push it. This truth shows us the value of sleep, relaxation, and taking short pauses during work. A rested brain is sharper, more creative, and more capable of solving problems. Truth 10. The brain can always change. The 10th and final truth is the most inspiring one. The brain can always change. For many years, people believed that the brain becomes fixed after a certain age, but modern psychology and neuroscience have shown that the brain is flexible throughout life. This ability is called neuroplasticity. Every new experience, every new skill, and every new thought reshapes the brain. This means that no matter how old we are, we can still grow, still learn, and still transform ourselves. The brain is like clay. It can be molded again and again, as long as we continue to use it. This truth gives us hope that our future is never limited by our past. So, my friends, these are the 10 psychology truths of the human brain. When we truly understand these truths, we stop fighting against our brain and start working with it. Always remember, your brain is the most powerful tool you have, but you are the one in control. Do not let your brain's laziness, fears, or distractions hold you back. Instead, train it, guide it, and use it to build the life you dream of. Thank you so much for staying with me until the end of this video. If you found value in this knowledge, please give this video a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more inspiring and educational content. Until we meet again, take care of your brain, take care of your mind, and take care of yourself.